right, I'm going to show several examples of how to solve systems of linear equations in two variables. And the applications will be for the second video. All right, so let's see. When we look at this, it looks like this y could easily be isolated. So I'm going to use the substitution method, which requires us to isolate one of the variables. So let me go ahead and do that. So 5x minus y is equal to negative 26. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. So I would get negative y is equal to negative 5x minus 26, and then just dividing by negative 1 here, we're able to rewrite this in terms of y equals 5x plus 26. So that's the first step, is isolate one of the variables. Okay, now the second step is to substitute that into the other equation. Okay, so my other equation is 2x plus 3y equals 10. And instead of writing y, I'm going to write 5x plus 26. So I'm going to just substitute what I just found for y into that other equation. So here we go. We've got 2x plus 3 times y. We're going to put in a 5x plus 26 equals 10, and then we can simplify that a little bit. Distributing my 3, I would get 2x plus 15x plus 78 is equal to 10. So that would give us 17x plus 78 equals 10. And then subtracting 78 from both sides, we get 17x is equal to negative 68. And that gives us that x is equal to negative 4. All right, so now I'm going to substitute what I just know back into one of the equations. Okay, so I'm just going to label these so I know what I'm talking about. So I was just working with equation B. I'm just going to go ahead and plug x equals negative 4 into equation A. So I would get 2 times x, which I just found is negative 4, plus 3 times y is equal to 10. And that gives us negative 8 plus 3y equals 10. And adding 8 to both sides, we would get 3y equals 18, so y equals 6. All right, and since I just had put this into A, when you go to check, just check it into the other equation. So 5 times x, which is negative 4, minus y, which is 6, equals negative 26. And that does check out. Okay, so isolate a variable, and then substitute that into the other equation, and then solve for your first variable, and then plug that value back into the other equation. All right, I'm going to show you the other method, which is all right, and let's just make sure that we write our solution as an ordered pair, negative 4, 6. Okay, so there's our solution. Addition. Okay, so let's look at this addition method. So the steps on this one are to write both in ax plus by equals c form, so that's already been done. And now we need to create opposite coefficients for one variable. So we want to try and eliminate one of the variables. I'm going to work on trying to eliminate my y's. So 2x plus 3y equals 10, and 5x minus y equals negative 26. Okay, if I multiply this second one by 3, I would get 15x minus 3y is equal to 78, or negative 78. Okay, and then this one I'm just going to copy. So 2x plus 3y equals 10. Okay, the big idea here with this method is that we add columns. So if we added up our y's or x's going down, we would get 17x. And then adding up our y's, we just get 0. 0y, so we don't even have to write them down. And then that's equal to negative 68. And then divide both sides by 17. So you've got x equals negative 4. And then just like we had to on the other one, once you have a value for one of your variables, you just plug that in to one of the equations and get the other variable. Okay, so I'm just going to choose one of my equations, 2x plus 3y equals 10, and I'm going to take that value that I just found and we'll just plug that right into x. So we've got 2 times x, which is -4, plus 3y equals 10. So -8 plus 3y equals 10. Adding 8 to both sides, we would get 3y equals 18. And dividing through by 3, we would get y equals 6. And we just did the same problem, so I know it checks out, but if this had been a different problem, I would just check it. Since I put this into my first equation, then you just want to check in the other equation. So to check, you would just put it into 5x minus y equals -26. Put both your x and your y values in and make sure that it is a true equation. All right, let's look at another example. All right, so our solution, -4 for the x and 6 for the y, so it's an ordered pair. Okay, so in this one, let's see what method I might want to use. Both of these are set up with the x and y's on one side and then the constant, just the plain number on the other. So this looks like it would be a good candidate for the addition method. I'm going to just clean these up a little bit. There's lots of decimals, so I'm going to go ahead and just multiply this one by 10 on both sides. And then this one, since there's 2 decimal places on that 2800ths, I need to multiply both sides by 100. So let's just rewrite our equation here as 50x plus 3y is equal to 14 and 20x minus 10y is equal to 28. All right, so now it looks like it's well set up to use the addition method. So now our choice is to either cancel my x's or my y's. I'm going to go ahead and try and cancel my y's, and let's see what happens here. If I multiply this one by 10 and this one by 3, we would get 500x plus 30y is equal to 140. And then here we would get 60x minus 30y is equal to 84. Okay, and now we use our addition method. Our y's cancel. So I've got 560x is equal to 224. And then dividing by 560. This takes quite a bit of simplifying. It looks like I could divide both of these by 4. And then I would get 56 over 140. And then both of these could get divided by 14, it looks like. And that would give us 4/10. And then that would simplify to 2/5. Okay, so the reason I decided to choose to cancel my y's is it ends up with this complicated fraction, and I don't really want to plug that back into either of these equations. So if you're left with something where plugging it back in looks like it would just be a lot of fractions, you can eliminate the other variable and solve for y. Okay, so you just use elimination a second time, or this elimination and addition method, they're the same thing, so sometimes people use either one. I think I've been saying addition method. Okay, so we'll just do it again. It works great. Okay, so 50x plus 3y equals 14. 20x minus 10y equals 28. And now let's try and eliminate our x's. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2 and this one by -5. And so I would get 100x plus 6y is equal to 28. And then multiplying the second one by -5, I would get -100x. And then plus 50y is equal to -140. Okay, and now I can add those up. My x's cancel, and I've got 56y is equal to negative 112, and then that gives me that y is equal to negative 2 when you divide both sides by 56. And then we do need to double check that it works in both of those equations. And that does check out. I do like when I'm checking them just to use the decimal form here. So instead of 2/5, I would just use that's 4/10, 0.4, and then just plug those back in, and that works. Okay, so using addition method twice is a great strategy if you've got a fraction. Okay, so the solution here would be 0.4 or 2/5, and then the y value is 2. All right, I'm going to do another one here, and it looks like it's really nicely set up to use substitution because I've already isolated one variable there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead in this first equation, equation A, and just plug, instead of writing y, I'll put that 2x minus 6 in there. Okay, so here we go. We've got 10x minus 5 times y, but I'm going to use my substitution. So in goes 2x minus 6. And that's equal to 30. And then I can distribute my negative 5. So I've got 10x minus 10x plus 30 equals 30. And then 10x minus 10x, that's just 0. So I've got 30 equals 30. Now, that's always true. The variables disappeared, and 30 is always 30. It doesn't matter what your variables are. So there's an infinite number of solutions on here. And in fact, it's any x or y that make the equation y equals 2x minus 6 true, or the other equation. But it turns out these are just exactly the same equation. Look at this first one, 10x minus 5y is equal to 30. If we solve that for y, we'll subtract 10x from both sides and then divide through by negative 5. We would get y equals 2x minus 6, and that is the same as what was given in equation 2. They're the same exact line. Okay, and so when you have something that has the exact same line, we've got that slope of positive 2. So both lines are the same. They're right at the same place, right? Both of them on that same exact line. So those are called dependent. They're always touching each other. They're always hanging out together. Those are called dependent systems. All right, I'm going to do one more example. Here we go. Let's see. I'm going to kind of fix this a little bit. I'm going to multiply this one by 3 and then this one by 2. I'm just going to clear fractions. So this would become 3x plus 5y equals 1. And then multiplying this by 2, I would get, let's see, 3x plus 5y equals 4. Actually, let's multiply this by a negative 2, and then we can use our addition method. Everything would cancel on this left side, and I would get something that's trying to tell me 0 is equal to negative 3, which is false. So that has no solution. And if we ended up graphing these two lines, they would be parallel lines. One of them has a y-intercept of 1/5 with a slope of negative 3/5, and the other one has a slope of 4/5, same, or y-intercept of 4/5, same slope. Those are parallel lines. Those don't ever meet, so those are called inconsistent. All right, and so just to summarize here, we can have one solution, no solution, or infinitely many solutions.